Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be demonstrating and reviewing the new Auric Holiday collection. They've brought out 2 new shades of their Smoke Reflect in Entice and Disrupt. So I'm going to be using those on my eyes. I'm going to do 3 looks. I'll have 1 duo on each eye first to just demonstrate the colors on their own. And then I'm going to put this look together where I've used both of the shades and all the components of the collection together. I'm also going to have some comparisons with a couple of other shadows that I have in my collection. And so if you'd like to see all of that, just keep on watching. Okay, I apologize, it's very windy today, so you might hear the wind in the background, but I wanted to start by just showing you the 2 shades and the packaging and everything. So this is Entice here, and they come with a little topper thing in the jar just to keep them fresh, I suppose. So that's the olive green shade, Entice. And the topper for this one is a white gold type shade. Very beautiful. And I will swatch later. The topper doesn't look like much when it's swatched, but when it's put on top of the shadow, it looks really beautiful. Freddie is joining me today. He's very insistent on being part of this video. And the brand describes the Entice shade as olive/white gold pearl powder. So the white gold pearl powder is the top and the olive is the cream. And then we have the Disrupt shade, and I have to be very careful with this one because when I opened it yesterday, when I pulled the little topper thing off, it lifted the whole cream out with it, but it seems to have settled a little better in the pot now. So that's the Disrupt cream. And the cream, I think, is described as, a cranberry. And then the powder for this one is a duochrome pink gold powder. So you can see the shifting colors there in that one. So I'm going to do 1 on each eye so we can see what the colors look like on their own. And then I think I might afterwards remove one of them and make them match up and then play with both of them on both eyes. But I just wanted to start with the cranberry shade. Using my Refer 02. I did play with the olive one yesterday, so I have a better sense of how that one looks, but I haven't played with this one yet. So I'll be the first to admit that I'm not great with cream shadows. I like them, but I often find I'm not happy with the looks that I create. And I think it might be because I'm just trying to do too much with them. I'm trying to make it too complicated, where the point of cream shadows is kind of to have a really beautiful, easy and simple look. And I think part of my issue in the past has been trying to do them like I work with powder eyeshadows, where I normally start in the crease and I'm going deeper and deeper in the crease. But I found that doesn't work for me very well with cream shadows. So what I've discovered is that I prefer to build the depth at the lash line and then just kind of blend up. So really placing the majority of the product at the lash line and then not really adding anything else and just blending up as far as I want to, and then I can kind of create my shape that way too. Freddie shows his affection by biting. So I'm liking how that's looking. I'm gonna take my Refer 01 brush with nothing on it and just do that nice diffusion and blending up in the crease that way. And I'm just building a little bit more coverage on the lid here. Just taking very small amounts of the cream. I find cream shadows, and these are no exception, a little bit goes a long way with them. Okay, I think that's good for the cream there, and then I want to put the topper on, and I think probably the best way to use the topper is just with your finger. Look at that shift there, that's quite amazing. So these are very similar to me to the Tom Ford Cream and Powder eyeshadow duos, and the powder in these and those is quite dry feeling. That's what it looks like on the finger. But when you place it, especially when you place it on top of the cream, it really comes to life. And this is my first experience with the Auric shadows. I don't have any of their main lineup, but these were such interesting colors. I really wanted to try them, and I'm really enjoying the formula. I do find them similar to the Tom Ford cream and powders, and I find the cream similar to the Charlotte Tilbury cream shadows, the Eyes to Mesmerize. But I think that these ones are just a little bit, they're a little bit wetter, I guess, for a lack of a better descriptor. The Tom Ford and the Charlotte Tilbury are quite moussey, and these have a little bit of that moussey quality too, but they're just a little bit wetter, a little bit kind of creamier, I guess, in terms of the formula. But the effect when you put them on the eyes is very similar. Beautiful, kind of multi-dimensional cream formula. So I'm just going to keep the cranberry eye just like that. I keep forgetting the shade names. Disrupt is the cranberry one. So there's the Disrupt eye. And I'm going to go in with Entice on this eye. Just cleaned off my brush. I'm going to go right into the cream right here. Just a tiny little bit on that brush. And I'm just doing the same thing. I really just want to show how the products look. I'm not trying to do anything fancy. And I'm finding that a combination of patting and blending seems to be working well. Where you want the most depth, like at the lash line here, I'm finding that patting it in first really helps. It makes it really stick on there, and then it has a chance to set down with that full pigment. And then you can kind of blend out where you want it more diffused. And it does build really nicely on top of itself. So even if you've kind of over blended or you haven't applied quite enough in certain areas, it's very easy to just grab a little bit more product and pat it on and then reblend. So there is the olive cream Entice all on its own. Now it's time to go in with the powder. I love how when you put the powder on with both of the colors, it really kind of brings both the cream and the powder to life. Like the two together is greater than the sum of their parts. So here are both of the eyes. There's the olive eye in Entice, and there is the cranberry eye in Disrupt. So what I'm gonna do now is remove one of these eyes and then balance them out and then play a little bit more with both of the shadows on both eyes. Okay, so I evened things out and I decided to keep the cranberry shade on the lids. And now I wanna play a little bit with trying the olive shade on the lower lash line and then playing around with the shimmer from the olive shade as well. So I'm gonna take my Rephr 03 brush, just go right into the shade, just a tiny little bit. I'm just gonna place a little bit right there and a little bit right there because I think especially I need to be careful with how much it's gonna spread out and the impact of this deep color on the lower lash line. And I'm just gonna blend, first focusing right here, just kind of drawing a little bit of a wing shape up from the lower lash line. And then just kind of blending what's left there along the rest of the lower lash line. I'm gonna take my 02 brush with nothing on it and just blend around the edges just to really diffuse that color. Don't want it to be very strong at all. Just a nice little contrast. Now I'm going to take this little Morphe brush. This is the M213. See if I can pick up some of this beautiful white gold shimmer. There's definitely a risk of fallout here. And I'm just going to pull that, just kind of pat it and blend along the inner part of the lower lash line. It's just going to lighten up that color, but also bring out the facets of that green shade. I think these shimmer shades would be perfect candidates to go with the Pat McGrath Artistry wand. I'm not going to pull it out today, but that's definitely something I'd play around with in the future because it's really going to allow the colors to stick a little bit more easily, especially if you're trying to apply them with a brush. And I think it would also amplify the shimmer. So I'm going to draw this right to the inner corner, like the lower half of the inner corner. And then I'm going to go into the duochrome shimmer with the same brush and put that in the inner corner on the upper half. Okay, with those on now, it's time for me to do some liner. So I'm just going to do my upper waterline and probably, I think I'll use my Bordeaux shade from Victoria Beckham for the upper lash line liner, and probably Cocoa in the upper waterline, and then I'll put some mascara on and I'll be back to show you the completed look and to do swatches, comparisons, and round up my thoughts on this collection. All right, so here's the completed eye look. Really happy with how this turned out, and I'm very happy with the formula. I think I kind of discussed it while I was doing the looks, so that's really what I have to say about them. They are very long wearing, so I think once they're on, the cream sets down even on its own if you're not setting it with the powder, but with the powder on top it lasts equally well. I did get a little bit of fallout when I was using the sparkly toppers with a brush, but that wasn't surprising to me, and they apply really beautifully with a finger, especially for the all-over application if you don't need to be too precise about it, and I didn't get any fallout when I was using them that way. So I just wanted to do a little couple of comparisons, and when I first saw the cranberry shade, I immediately thought of my Natasha Denona cranberry palette, and especially this duochrome shade here because it kind of reminded me of at least the idea of the topper shade in Disrupt. So I just wanted to show a few swatches there. So this is the Disrupt cream right along here, and then on this side I've topped it with the topper, just so you can get a bit of a sense of the effect. I think it's much more impactful on the eyes than it is in a swatch, because you've got the curvature of the eyes and all the dimension there that really brings out the shifting colors and emphasizes all the sparkly little bits. This is just the topper for the Disrupt shade on its own. And then this is that duochrome shade in the Natasha Denona cranberry palette. So I think they have similar effects. And then here, I just wanted to kind of take a look at how it would work if you paired these two deep mattes in the Natasha Denona cranberry palette. So those two together, I think, are as close as you're gonna get from this palette to the cream in Disrupt. And then I just topped it, it's kind of hard to see, but right there I topped it with the duochrome shade from the cranberry palette, just so you could kind of get a sense of how those would pair together and how they would compare to the Auric shade. And then here I have the Entice shade, that's the olive green shade from Auric. This part right here is topped with the topper. You can see how it really brings out the gold in the topper and just makes the olive green an even more beautiful, kind of rich, warm tone. Right here, I don't think you can even see it, is the topper on its own. Again, it's gonna look more impactful on the eye. Here is the Hourglass Scattered Light in the shade Vivid, which I thought would be the thing that I have that would be most similar to the effect of the two shades of the Auric Entice shade together. And I think they are quite similar in their effect and in their tone. So a couple things I just wanted to mention. I mentioned earlier that when I opened up this Disrupt shade first and I lifted off the top, the whole cream shadow was stuck to the top. So just be careful when you're opening these if you get them. But I didn't have that issue today, so it seems that the color has kind of settled a bit better into the jar. And the brand actually kind of mentions this on their website in the FAQ section. I just wanted to check it out, and I was actually looking for information on whether you're supposed to keep the little topper there. I didn't find information on that, but I would recommend keeping the topper to keep the product fresh and help it to keep from drying out. But they did mention in the FAQ section that it is normal for the creams to kind of slide around in the jar. And it's because the product is kind of so emollient, or it has that wetness to it, that it kind of has the ability to move around, and also because they've chosen to go with glass jars rather than plastic. When they tested them with plastic, they found that it stuck better to the jar, but the presentation wasn't as nice. It wasn't really what they were going for in terms of presentation and luxury value. And I'm happy with the frosted glass. I think it's a much nicer presentation, and it really does feel more luxurious. These are in limited edition packaging. So normally I think the Smoke Reflex have black plastic on the top, but they've gone with white for the holiday collection, which I think is very beautiful and very appropriate. And Samantha mentioned that she especially loved the look of these shades with the white packaging. And I think it's nice to have something special like that for the holidays. I just wanted to quickly show you the box that these came in. So this is the box that they came in. And then both shades were just in their own boxes inside this package here. I noticed on the website, on the Auric website, that the duo in this box is sold out right now. I don't know if they'll be bringing more in or not, but each of the shades is available individually, so you can still get them. It's not really much of a deal to get them in the box anyway. And I just also wanted to say I was a little bit disappointed. When you look at the picture on the website of this box, it has this beautiful olive green velvet ribbon wrapped around it. And I was expecting it to come with that because that's what all the pictures had, that ribbon in it, but it did not come with the velvet ribbon. So that was just a little bit of a disappointment. But overall, the products are really beautiful, and I think they're perfect for the holiday season. I love this play on the red and green idea for Christmas, but just a little bit more nuanced and just kind of different versions of those colors. It's not like a straightforward green. It's this beautiful kind of grungy olive green with that beautiful white gold shimmer paired with it. And the cranberry shade, again, it's not a straightforward red shade. It's a beautiful, nuanced, rich cranberry. And the addition of that duochrome topper, it makes it really special and really interesting and I think different. So very happy with this collection. Very happy with the Smoke Reflect formula as a whole. Excited to play with it more and play around with the shimmers on their own and the creams on their own, and just trying different shapes and combinations on the eyes. But I hope that this was helpful for you if you've been interested in these. I also wanted to mention Auric, at time of posting this video, is running their Black Friday promotion, and there's no sale on their items, but they're offering free shipping for Canada and US for orders over $50, and they're offering half price shipping for international customers for orders over $50. So if you're an international customer and you were deterred by the shipping price, it's now half price during their Black Friday promotion, in case you were interested. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. And if you'd like to see more from me and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I would really love for you to do so. Thanks again so much. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.